Hi, and welcome to another edition of Inside My Classroom. Today, Inside My Classroom, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting to go and observe in an ALE classroom. This was actually something that I had to do for college, but I chose this classroom because I have the least amount of experience with the ALE students. So I wanted to see what that environment was like and get a little more understanding of what it's like in that classroom and what's going on with those students to help move them forward. So I did find that the ALE students have a routine. I always got to go every day second period on the days that I went. So during second period, their routine is to do their writing assignment and then to do their reading assignment. So every day they have a prompt on the board. And from that prompt, they are supposed to write a response. So in the ALE classroom, you're gonna really see true differentiation, which I thought was great for me because differentiation is something that I think that I'm pretty good at. And this showed me even some more ways that you could do differentiation, and maybe not to the level that it's done in the ALE classroom, but just kind of gives you some other ideas of what you can do. So for one of the students, actually for a small group of the students, they're at about a second or third grade level, so they were able to write simple sentences by themselves, and with a little prompting, they could actually add a little more to their sentences, and they were encouraged to put visuals with their sentences. For some of the other students, their writing is not at that level, however, they can trace. Their fine motor skills are good enough, so you would talk to them, get a verbal answer from them about what their answer was to the question. The teacher writes it down for them, and then they can trace over it, and they're writing those words. Another way that I saw done is they can write, and they're a little bit better at spelling the words, but they need a little more assistance. So they would have the verbal conversation with the teacher. The teacher would have a dry erase board. The teacher would write the sentences for them on the dry erase board, and then the student would transfer from the dry erase board to their notebook. So then they're doing that writing assignment. Once everybody was done with writing, all the writing notebooks would go away, and then everybody would sit around the table together. And the teacher actually used her iPad and used her Mirror 360, and she would project the storybook up on the screen. So while she's reading through this, and this is a program that she had that she was able to use, so throughout the storybook there are questions, there are some inferencing questions, same questions that you would use just in an elementary reading class. And so she got to take the iPad around, and she would go to some of the students and ask them questions about what happened in the story, and they could press on the answer to the question, and then they would get immediate, like a princess or a rainbow or a unicorn or fireworks or something, so if they did a good job, and then everybody would clap for them if they did a good job. And if they didn't get it right, then everybody would encourage them. The teachers and some of the more verbal students would encourage them. It's okay, keep going. So I really loved the ALE classroom. I really loved what it taught me about what I could do in my classroom, how they have so many different levels in there, but they're still having everybody be on the same page. Everybody's doing the writing, but there's just so many different ways that everybody can do it and show kind of their own personal mastery of that. And how everybody got to be involved with story time, and some people needed more leading, and they needed that encouragement just like any other child would need. And so they needed those rainbows and unicorns and everything. So I really enjoyed my experience in the ALE classroom. It taught me a lot about being in my classroom. If you ever get a chance to go and observe in an ALE classroom, you definitely should, and see what they're doing in there, because they're doing some really great things. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Inside My Classroom. I'll see you later. I'm Miss Guzman.